Today, this was the headline in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Georgia Republicans take first step to Fulton elections takeover. Fulton County is the largest county in the state. 1/10 of all Georgians live there. It's where Atlanta is. It voted overwhelmingly for Joe Biden. It also contains a sizable proportion of the state's black voters. The paper obtained a letter showing that 24 Republican state senators support a performance review of the Fulton County elections chief. They have the power to request this thanks to the restrictive voting bill that Georgia passed earlier this year. Now, according to that bill, State Senate Bill 202, the state can replace any local election official with enough Republican support. The chairman of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, a Democrat, is sounding the alarm, saying this is blatant a Republican attempt to take control of the U.S. Senate from Democrats and retain the governorship in 2022. Quote, "It's been rhetoric until this point. This letter is the first official step in the process. We've got allies in the legislature. We've got the courts and the court of public opinion. The law, as it currently stands, is on their side." At the federal level, Democrats continue to do what they can to address exactly this sort of thing. With efforts to pass the For the People Act currently stalled, Senate Democrats are preparing to unveil a new voting rights bill as soon as this week. Several senators, including Raphael Warnock, Amy Klobuchar, and Joe Manchin, are all huddled in Senate Leader Chuck Schumer's office yesterday to discuss the legislation, and the momentum is building. The New York Times and NBC News both report that President Biden will meet with Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Leader Schumer tomorrow to discuss voting rights legislation. The need for action could not be more pressing. Today, Texas state Democrats who fled their state to block a restrictive voting bill testified before Congress about the desperate need for federal action to block voter suppression efforts at home.
This is a practical implication that's going to disenfranchise hundreds and thousands of votes of Texans. And so that's why we're here. We tried to work with our counterparts, but every amendment that we presented was declined.
Where was that, in committee?
Yes, sir, in committee. On the 23 hours, there were amendments that were presented. Even during the regular session, when we presented amendments, they were not always admitted. So we have tried, we've used every tool in our toolbox to collaborate with our colleagues. The only thing left is to come to Congress and ask for federal intervention.
Which is literally what they're doing. Joining us now, Senator Alex Padilla, Democratic senator from California, former Secretary of State of California, who knows a lot about state voting rights. Senator, I really wanted to talk to you on this topic because of your experience as the Secretary of State. There are all sorts of things going on in this country making it harder for people to vote, ballot boxes, voting hours, things like that. But President Biden made the point that one could organize around that. It's not what we should be doing in this country, but you can figure that out. What they're doing in Georgia, you can't figure that out. This idea of removing an elections official so as to control the outcome of elections, there's no way to out-organize that. That is anti-democratic.
Right, and that's why time is of the essence. One could argue, well, if it's that much of a violation of the spirit, if not the actual language of the Federal Voting Rights Act, by the time you litigate it and it's appealed and the appeal goes all the way to the Supreme Court, I'm not comfortable with those chances. So again, the importance and the urgency with which we need to act, and knowing that it has worked in places like California, Colorado. All these reforms are proven reforms that, by the way, uphold the 1993 National Voter Registration Act. It's the act that I referred to in that hearing we had in Atlanta a week and a half ago, where it is in federal statute that government has not just an opportunity, a responsibility to facilitate voter participation. That means making it easier for eligible people to register, to stay registered, not be purged from the rolls, and options for how to cast their ballots.